live. What's up, what's up? We're the Freestyle Freaks on HamiltonRadio.net. I'm Ralph Rotten. This is Billy the Kid. And what's up? It's definitely Monday. And we're late as usual. No, we're not. Well, it was technical difficulties. And Mr. DJ Ruben back there was trying to blend 2-3 songs together. So it made us lag a little, made us pull us back. So anyway, what is up?
Got to make sure that the audio is on, Ruben.
Yeah, is the audio on loud?
Because the
loud,
first comment I just saw said
hello. Audio. Yo. What about me? What about me?
I think so.
Yo. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yo. So what's up, Mr. Billy?
Yes.
What? I don't even know how I could say how was your weekend because you were kind of laid up in bed. You know, you could lower it in the background. It was like, you know, not that low. I mean, like that. That's fine. That's fine. I can't really say how was your weekend because I actually wanted to make a meme. No disrespect to you, you know I love you. I wanted to make a meme out of your face on the bed in the hospital, or I don't know where you were. You just looked like a miserable baby. And I wanted to take your head, you remove your body and put my baby's body in there. Cause you looked so miserable, man.
Nah, listen.
Tell me about what happened. Tell me a little bit about it. You know, what's up? What happened?
All right, last week.
Can you lower the radio in the back this way we can get and put our audio up this way our audience could hear us a little bit better.
Man,
They can? You sure? All right.
The pain that I started going through last week, it was like when I actually weighed up, like now that everything's said and done, it was immeasurable. Like I accomplished some amazing things, man. And
wait a minute, were you on women delivery level, that kind of thing?
Man, honestly, I'll never equal anything up to childbirth. Never.
That's the last.
If anything,
that's the last and final level.
If anything,
it was almost close.
It's like when they get to their very last stages, like after the staples and getting sewn up, like they go through like the weeks of it. That was just the very beginning of mine. It's at the tail end of theirs, but that's how the end of mine felt, or should I say the beginning of mine. The pain, man. Listen, as men, we are strong. We're fighters. Our ego get in the way.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
You know,
work.
I'm one of them
people.
people.
Supposed to work and walk and move through pain like.
I never
invincible.
go to the doctors. I never go.
Yeah,
the only time I go,
I go
for my physical at work. That's it.
I go when I don't feel good, you know, or when something doesn't look right, or
I'm gonna tell you,
my stuff doesn't feel right. I do go now that I'm starting to get older. I do go, you know, try to get a yearly physical and, you know, get it in there.
I got a newfound respect for the appendix. I almost didn't even know what the appendix was, man.
That's a mean mother, let me tell you.
It stopped me in my tracks, and I think what messed me up is trying to be a man, was trying to fight through it, was that on the very first occasion that I threw up, the very first time out of many times that I threw up, I probably say in total, it was like 20 times in 2 days. The very first time I threw up, I had just leaned back into my truck and my phone was ringing. It was actually ringing while I was throwing up. And it's my sister. Like, by this time, like, my stomach is in knots. And she's like, it's an emergency. She said, my car just broke down. She said, I need you to get my daughter from after school program, and I need you to get my son from the Y in Hamilton. And I'm on a whole nother side of town. I just got through throwing up. I'm thinking that whatever it was going to pass through. Yeah. It hit me instantly. And she let me know. Like, if it was anybody that let me know, it was her. I ran to the school. I got her daughter. I got her son, and she's standing out in front of her car, and she's telling me about her day. And through the conversation, which I regret doing, I was like, but I didn't have a choice. I said, I understand. I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I don't mean to cut your conversation short, but I said, I have to get your kids in. I said, just let me take them home. I feel like I need to lay down. I said, I don't feel right. She was like, oh, okay, go ahead. But she didn't say it right then and there. But I took the kids to her house. My niece was waiting for them. And when I got back to the house, I flopped on the bed. And she texted me. And in that text, through some of the words she was saying, she was like, you looked bad. Like, you was slumped over the wheel, everything. And I could feel myself. Like, I was driving, like, with my chest. You know, I ain't trying to amp, put too much, on the conversation, of like how it was. I'm not amping it up. This was actually how the appendix.
Listen, I asked you, I mean, go ahead and tell us, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm
not exaggerating.
I'm being
That's
serious.
what I wanted to say. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating.
Like you were the most unpleasant person in the world at that single moment.
Sadly.
I mean, really.
Sadly.
You look like you wanted to cry.
Sadly, I went to a comedy show the very next day. And when I tell you,
Did you know this was the appendix before you went to the comedy show?
No. Well, I went.
Wait a minute. How long have you been walking? You were walking around with how many days?
I was walking around bad for a couple of days.
You could have died, bro.
Yeah. They when I went there, this is how the conversation went. When I went to the hospital, mind you,
I'm shaking my head.
Everybody's telling me go to the hospital. My mom, my sister, my lady, everybody's saying go to the hospital, but they were all telling me on a different basis. But every time somebody told me, the ego kicked in. I'm like, I'm throwing up. It's going to pass. I gotta be cool. But day by day, it's getting worse. And that day that I went to the hospital, I slept all day. I called out of work. I slept all day. And my mom was, she actually said before she left, she was like, you need to go to the hospital. I brushed that off. I went back to sleep. My mom called me. She was like, you need to go to the hospital. I went back to sleep. A friend of mine called me. They was like, yo, you don't sound too good. Like you ain't going to work today. Listen, go to the hospital. It was like, I can hear it in your voice. You don't sound good. I went back to sleep again. It's like the fourth time I go back to sleep. My mom wound up calling back as a follow-through, as a mom. She must have had like some type of spiritual feeling or something. And she said, are you still laying down? I said, yeah. She was like, I called you. She's like, I wanted you to go to the hospital. Like she did this follow-through because she knew I didn't go anywhere. I really couldn't. I pulled myself together. It's like 12 in the afternoon. In my mind, I want to be at the hospital by 1. It took me till 1 o'clock just to get dressed. By the time I got to the hospital, it was like 1:30. I literally sat in my car from 1:30 to 2 just to get the energy to make it out the car there to the emergency room. So I get there, they was like, okay, we're going to run a CAT scan on you. So they run me to the back. They do the CAT scan. So I come back out. They go, problem. It was like, we detected something in your stomach. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready for whatever. I haven't been to the doctor's in forever. So all of this, is freaking me out. So I'm like, okay, what is it? It was like, you got appendicitis. Me, because I'm in go mode, I go, okay, well, just give me the prescription and, whatever medicine I need, I'll be on my way. They go, no.
We got to cut you up.
Kind of. They go.
We got to do surgery.
They go, no, it don't work that way. They say, when you got appendicitis,
we got to keep you for a couple of days.
It has to come out. This is my rebuttal. My rebuttal is, okay, well, write the prescription.
Let's take it out.
I wasn't ready. I said, okay, well, write the prescription. Let me know whenever y'all want to schedule this procedure, and I'll be back. She goes, it doesn't work that way either. She's like, we don't even know
if you don't get it out, you're gonna
how
die.
You've been walking around this long. She said, that needs to come out now. As we speak. Like, you don't even have time to get prepped. They like, soon as that room clears right there,
you're jumping in.
You got to get straight into a gown, and we take you right to the second floor. I barely even had time to make phone calls. By this time,
you had enough time to post a picture on Facebook, though.
That I did before it was no service.
He was like this.
Before
he looked like a baby. He looked like a baby.
Hey, nah.
Look.
Will Wright goes. Will Wright is on stage at the comedy show the next day, and he goes, I don't even know how you here right now. He was like, everybody give it up for Billy. So everybody clapping. He was like,
You half alive, bro.
he was like, did y'all see him in this picture? He was like, he's the only person I know that was smiling in the selfie in the hospital. I don't know. I don't know how many times I had to get up and like leave out the room. Plus, I had Smokey Suarez coming, and I just wanted to be there to make sure that Smokey was taken care of because this is a guest that I invited. He came a long way. And I had to be there hands on to make sure that the operations were going great. I actually sat behind the scenes, Wait
a minute. Was this? Did you know that this was appendicitis? Now you're at the show.
No.
Okay.
This was the very next day after the surgery.
How the hell? Wait a minute. Go back and to rewind. Without not killing a whole half hour of our show. Tell me, how do you fast forward from? We want to know. When did you say, okay, take it out? Stop changing the subject.
I didn't. I ran. Okay, I did skip a little bit, but they go. This has to come out tonight. They
now?
put me. Yeah.
Throwing you in the bed right now
yes.
and just cutting you out and just
and
barbarically taking it out.
And the whole time I'm telling them, I was like, but I got a comedy show tomorrow. I was like,
you'll be okay.
I have
we'll
a
just
show
cut
tomorrow.
you open right now.
Dig this. Every doctor from the first floor to the second floor, everybody knew my story. By the time I got to the second floor, they was like, take care of this guy. Like, do whatever. This is that and the third. He has a show that he has to be to tomorrow. And that's even the surgeon. Like, even when the surgeon came in, he goes,
you're the comedian.
Is it true that you're a comedian? And I said, yeah. And he was like, and you have a show tomorrow. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, it's not really likely that you're going to make it to the show. But he was like, we're going to do the best we can. Like, if you insist on making it to the show, like, it's not recommended. But all I knew is that if they put me under and I came out of that anesthesia and I could at least stand up, I was going to make it to the show. But I got rest every day after that. I paid for it. Like, I was not supposed to be at the show. Everybody made sure I wasn't supposed to be at that show.
So
I just wanted to make sure everything went right.
So you made it to the show.
Yes.
You got the procedure done. You made it to the show.
Yeah.
And this was Thursday, right? It's Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Surgery Wednesday night.
Yeah,
Thursday the show.
Yeah.
Then you've had the whole weekend to recover.
Yep. Laid down.
And now it's Monday.
I couldn't move.
How do you feel now?
It was in something. It was the way I laid last night. The way I laid, I slept on my right side, which I never do. I never sleep on my right side at all. This was even before the appendix thing, and I'm so used to sleeping on my left, and I switched last night. I switched and I slept. I slept. No. I slept when I turned to my right. It was a pain, but I eased into it, and I'm like, I just can't do the left no more. I can't.
So you're still in slight pain.
I don't know what happened. Sleeping on my right made me wake up much better. It's crazy. And I never sleep on my right. And I slept on my right. And I felt like new money.
I don't know if he was hoping and wishing for your fast recovery, but you see I posted on there.
Yeah.
I physically wanted to comment on. I physically wanted to
called when I was in there. I was actually about to meet
Billy,
the surgeon. The surgeon was actually about to walk in the room, and he called joking. And he called joking, and he's like, "Get up, like nothing's wrong with you, like something about the show."
So he wasn't praying for you. He actually didn't believe you. He was like, "Yo, get up, get your ass up."
I mean, but he, he sent his well wishes, but I lied to you not. At this point, I wasn't even on the first floor. I was actually in the surgery part.
You were about to get cut.
And Ruben called
like,
me.
Yo, get your ass up, Bill.
And I promise you, I might have.
I wish I was there just to see it.
I might have put that phone down about 3 times throughout our conversation, because as he's talking, I want to laugh, so I just put the phone down. So I just let him talk, and then I got back on the phone again, and he said something else funny. I just put the phone down again. I'm just standing there because I got to wait for him to finish. I refuse to put this man on speakerphone. But he did call, man, to help. Like, I didn't want to tell him that I couldn't laugh, but I just kept putting the phone down. I do remember that. I do remember.
There was just something about that picture that I just wanted to take it off the internet and create a meme.
Oh, man. Oh my goodness, man. I still.
He looks so miserable.
Yeah.
If you have not seen that picture, go on.
That was
go
the first
on
time
his
I ever
page.
stayed a night in a hospital. That was the very first time that I ever stayed overnight.
He was so miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable. He
One
looked
thing,
so miserable.
King of Queens came on, and that was my savior because that's my favorite show. And they played it from about 4 in the morning to about 7 in the morning, and I watched every single episode, every single one till the sun came up. Yeah.
So
that was
with
my weekend.
with the news, it's our condolences that President Bush Sr. has passed away. That's definitely sad. Definitely sad. He was one of the last presidents of the '90s, right? He ushered in, the later '90s. He was. I remember the Gulf War. I remember him.
That was a scary time.
I remember him talking about the real famous New World Order. In '91, I think it was. He was talking about, we will usher a new world order, not a law of the jungle.
He was
something. He was a Renaissance man of a different time.
He was the first president that I seen get addressed about the Contra, and I didn't know what the Contra was.
He was also friends with Gorbachev, right?
Yes, he was.
It was a simpler. It was a mysterious yet simpler time where he led, but he also led, our troops into, the Gulf War.
Kuwait and Kuwait and all that.
That was the first time. That was our first major, and I'm not saying
like the first war of our time.
No, not. It was not of our time, but it was our first introduction into the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Not really because we had different proxy wars, in Afghanistan against Russia,
oil,
different proxy wars with Lebanese or Palestinians, with all different Beirut and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We had history with the Middle East, but that was our introduction with the media into the news, letting us, Americans in 100% about what was going on, about, one guy,
Right.
one American, having thousands of Iraqis just humbly, surrender,
I'm gonna tell you, my mom and my dad were both.
It's called Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. Both my parents were in that war. Both.
Wow, that's major.
Thank you, your parents.
Both my parents.
Thank your
what's up.
parents
That's what's
for
up.
being a part of that, and thank them for their service.
Oh yeah, it was a scary time. Not knowing if both your parents were gonna come back.
I mean, it wasn't.
Word.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I had
sure.
a family member over there. A couple family members.
I have had family members in those
My
times.
mom told me that the war was only like 44 days because what happened was Saddam, from what my mom had told me, was that Saddam wasn't feeding his military, so they did they did guns for money.
Mhm.
They did guns for food.
Oh wow.
So they said, if you surrender, we'll feed you if you give up your guns. That's how that was part of how the war went lasted so long because they were hungry.
Can I hear you? Can I hear you?
Yeah.
I hear him.
All right, just making sure. Just making sure.
Oh, yeah.
So they gave up their guns to get fed.
Yep.
So it was thousands just giving up.
Yeah, some of them, the troops, from what I was told, went to McDonald's and bought like a bunch of hamburgers and french fries for them, and they gave up just for that. Unfortunately, when Saddam found out about it, a lot of them didn't get back into society. He arrested them. He said they were traitor to the country.
Yeah, I mean,
and then they can't shoot back at him because they already gave their guns up. Hey, listen.
Well, listen.
How about use your gun and go get a burger?
But listen. Before Saddam did build that country up.
No, he did.
Before we went in and for
He did.
supposedly weapons of mass destruction, which his son,
Right.
the former president, went in accusing that, Iraq and Saddam were behind in the World Trade Center
And
bombings,
only thing I
Yeah,
was-
and it wasn't
Eminem
true.
song.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Only thing
It was only about war and monetary reasons.
I hate to say this, man, but I really think that
Central
Saddam
Bank.
looked like the old man from Grumpy Old Men. They look alike.
Oh yeah. He kind of looked like Bombs out
Man, listen, yo, if he grow like a big bushy mustache, he look like Saddam.
Only thing I want to say is that only thing I didn't like, and I'll see if I can ever find it. But I remember when that work came out, I think I was about 13 or 14 years old when that work came out, and I remember seeing on the news that.
Wow, so you're fairly young. You just look old. Would you start like losing your hair at like 16 or?
Let him finish the story.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
So he I think it was either the Saudi or the Kuwaiti king, I forgot which one, was going to give each American military personnel that was in the war, which is about $2.5 million each cash tax free. Bush Senior turned around and told the king, "That's okay. My troops don't need it because they were happy to fight this war." I remember seeing that on the news.
Man, saying $2.5 million a piece.
No,
A lot of-
no. It was $1 million a piece for two. And it was 2.5 million troops
Wow.
in that war.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And President Bush said no, they don't need it.
That's crazy.
You know, money.
Forgot
You know,
which king was that. He was
you know the
Saudi king or the Kuwaiti king.
the economy.
He got the money to do it. That's the crazy thing.
He's gonna write everybody a check.
The
He
economy.
go home, he wanted to give everybody either a check or cash in hand.
Yeah.
Before they go home.
He like, nope. Our troops are going to fight for $20,000.
Yep.
20,000. We're not going to give them anything once they check out of this war. Once they get old, we're not even going to give them health care and benefits. I'm just saying that, man, because it's tough for these veterans out here, man. You know, especially like the same ones that fought in the Kuwait War and stuff.
That's crazy. But you know,
Yeah,
not,
no,
not
I
to-
remember that. I
not
think I
to-
remember that.
You know, he did pass away. He was and he wasn't. Listen, each president has their faults and their, their mistakes and their, Obama wasn't the best. George Bush Jr. wasn't the best. Clinton wasn't the best.
No president the best.
Not many.
In no aspect. No aspect, because what they did for somebody else, there's clearly a whole bunch of people to say that they didn't get or didn't do. Nowhere in history are you going to find a president that was just like, yo, he was it. That was the one.
Kennedy.
Believe it or not,
Barely.
Kennedy.
He got assassinated.
yeah, but he got assassinated. So
But
Kennedy
he-
had a chance to actually prove himself.
But he was on his way. I
But
mean,
thing is,
remember,
it's
he-
like for
he-
everybody
remember,
that you're
the guy-
doing
the
for,
guy
there's a
lost
group
his-
of people that you
the
weren't.
guy
doing for.
mainly lost his life because he had a bill signed to demonopolize the Federal Reserve. You know what I'm saying? They stopped him before he could try that. You know,
I mean, look at Reagan. Wasn't it like probably 3 attempts on his life? Yeah. One of them, did he get hit? It was a person next to him. Yeah, got hit, and then he got the one interview with a balloon popped, and he's so gangster. It was like boom. He was like, "You missed me," and didn't even jump, but it was a balloon pop though. But even if that was like a real shot, and that was, I believe, after the fact that he had the assassination attempt on him, and he's doing a speech and a balloon pops, and this man doesn't budge. I'm like, yeah, he a G. Dude ran over the gate with the knife and made it all the way to. Wait, didn't somebody make it damn near in the White House?
No, they made it to the lawn and shot a rifle down the window, not realizing.
I think somebody got to the White House. I think with President Trump in office too.
Now, who was the one the chick that breached security when she got past the press? Got past the press, her and old boy, and they was taking pictures with him and everything. Yo, you don't remember that? Old girl and them, they had a gallery, like some type of ball or whatever there, and they just came dressed nice and were barely checked and walked right in, weren't on the list or nothing, just to pretty much kind of show you that you
How
could
easy
get
it
breached.
Yeah.
Tuh. Tuh.
No, it's amazing that you can do that, but yet, when, on a regular day, you got to get through security just to get on the White House lawn.
No. What was G was Pablo Escobar taking a picture with his son in front of the White House gates back in the day. This is the most wanted man in America. Shows up to the White House steps and take a selfie. At the time, that would have been a selfie.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I do have a picture of the White House without the gates that I took. What I did was, I was 15 at the time. I didn't know, the laws and everything like that. My camera said I wanted a picture of the White House without the fence. So
Yeah. Paid for that. Paid. Oh wow. So you rather risk repercussion for some nice flicks? Boy, they would have ran across that gate and tomahawked the hell out of you. That's the funniest footage, like watching Secret Service tomahawk somebody. Like when they got to, hold on, remember dude threw the shoes at Bush? Remember he threw the shoes at him? Then he throw both of them, and Bush dipped one and then he dipped the other one. Oh my gosh, that had to be the funniest thing ever, man. He walked out of there barefoot.
I think Obama ducked a couple shoes, and Hillary Clinton ducked a couple shoes.
Yeah, I know for a fact Bush did. That boy had dips. He hit the Mayweather. He had the shoulder. He had the Mayweather shoulder on him.
Can you pause that and open it so I can steal that?
What, the music?
Yeah.
Ain't this some crap?
Sorry.
We sit here having a real conversation about politics.
I like the track in the back.
Hey.
I like that track in the back. Sorry. I want it.
Yeah. How would you just get past your weekend? Or are you still want to wrap that up before we get to your weekend? You didn't say nothing about your weekend.
Well, I mean, my weekend was calm, chill. I got to go see my mother. I got to go see my grandmother. It was chill. It was my Sunday was relaxing. On Saturday I worked. Right. You know, that was.
I saw a picture that you got Ralphie got his first picture with Santa Claus.
Yes, we went to Brothers on Friday night, and I got worked a little late, so I met them there, and they got the picture. So yeah, that was cute. You know, we had family out, for the first time. Eating out and stuff. I mean, we do it every so often. We go, randomly just go to Popeyes and crap like that.
Yeah, like you had the whole unit with you.
Yeah, we have the whole.
Yeah, the whole
crew,
tribe,
the whole squad.
Yeah.
We got the C squad out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we got the junior. We got
like
the third. We got the junior.
They go to Colognes.
Yeah, we got the. It's not it's not three. It's not a trio squad no more. It's four. It's a.
No longer the three amigos. Now it's four of y'all. You got to come up with a name for it.
But my weekend was it was chill. It was
You watch any of the fights over the weekend?
No fights. I am so busy with life. It's like I'm so tired.
Yeah, I see.
I'm tired. You know what I'm saying?
Word. As he's yawning,
but I still live my life. I still do this. I still do that.
I was like Sheba yesterday. She just swore that she was up late. She was like, "Yeah, I'm not even tired. Just gonna, like I don't know why. Like she was like, I got so much energy. I just don't know where it's coming from. I'm like, right, sure you do.
I in my downtime, then I have been listening to the Tekashi 6ix9ine news.
Oh, I thought you meant it was album or something.
This guy is going for a #1 artist around the world. That is true. #1 artist around the world.
It's about to get taken.
It's about to go to prison for life.
And look at the reverse polarities.
All because he was supposedly used as a, I guess.
Like he was getting extorted from Treyway and all that.
The record label that he was with, was taking his money and using it for illegal means.
Yeah, like they wasn't really his friends.
And this guy really didn't know, and he associated with them.
Now dig this though.
And now he's facing time, and he's facing time with them.
He was the #1 artist, but he's about to go to jail. Meanwhile, Meek
Mill
is coming out of jail. Coming out of jail on his way to be the #1 artist.
Well, Meek Mill has been out since I think May, around May or so, or I don't know when he came out, but he's been out for a bit. He's been out for quite some time.
Yeah,
he dropped that one track. I forget the Stay Woke.
He did. Stay Woke in 1942.
He dropped a couple insane tracks. Now he dropped the Championships album track.
I've been listening to that all weekend.
That one track is one of the deepest tracks that I've heard in a while. I mean, Rick Ross.
Rick Ross and Jay-Z, yeah.
it,
What's
uh,
free? What's free? Oh, Jay. Shout out to Jay, man, for that
Rick
closing
Ross,
verse. That closing
well,
verse.
First of all, one of Rick Ross's better moments on a track.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Good
not.
opener.
He's
Meek
not.
did
He's
his
not.
thing in
You
the
know,
middle.
he's not. It's the first time he's not. You know, like he really laid some he really laid some bars on that verse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he even took some shots at Tekashi 6ix9ine,
Yeah.
telling
he
him,
did.
"Yo, we warned you, yo. You know, now you got them on your back."
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't listen.
Yeah.
You know, and you know he was like,
Couldn't do
you know,
Tekashi, man. He was such an internet troll, man. It's
well, I
just
mean,
like,
not
that's a new
we'll-
generation
we'll-
of people. I don't really know. Well,
we'll-
50
we'll-
was a troll,
We'll
but
get into that. You know, he laid into Tekashi. Then Meek dropped his, you know, yo, listen, Jay-Z and Rick Ross did their thing, but yo, Meek Mill also did his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
Especially
he shed light.
giving it back to that judge again.
You know,
and
he
them charges.
shed light on, you know, why he was locked up and why the system set him up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to silence him because he was giving back to his community. Now he's coming back out and he's giving back to his community tenfold
Yeah.
and some.
Yeah.
You've created a
It's
monster.
like, listen, y'all got something
Like-
to tell the judge. Tell the judge this.
You know, like
You know,
he's-
tell them how we, you know, starting schools and, you know, helping kids and stopping wars.
Exactly.
Facts.
I mean,
you know,
the
big
one,
facts in that.
The,
in
the
that
one
rap.
thing that, you know, everybody was like, you know, free Meek, free Meek, free Meek. You know, I'm a Meek Mill fan. You know, I've always said, hey, free Meek. You know why? Because this dude feeds people. He takes care of people. You know what I'm saying? You know, legitimately, he gives back to his community. And that's, you know, sometimes the system don't want you to do
I couldn't
that.
wait for him to tweak his flow. I mean, I rocked with his flow anyway from the beginning, from the Hunger to the mixtapes to the albums. But now that he tweaked it and he got that, you know, like fight the oppression and like the unbalanced scales of the judicial system.
It's a different.
He woke.
It's a different
grown
Meek Mill.
man.
It's
Grown man now.
It's a deeper. It's a hip hop legend.
And he asked Jay on that Stay Woke. He said, "I need that verse for you to retire." And did Jay deliver?
Yeah, Jay-Z dropped.
Did this man deliver?
Jay-Z-
I might have played his verse 10 times back to back.
Jay-Z took in that one whole entire segment, in that whole entire verse, that could be, you know, that can be a footnote of progression, you know, of
Some
how
people saying that that's the hottest verse of 2018.
it has to be.
Yeah.
He took
They saying that's the hottest verse.
he took a shot at a whole entire circle. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He went at the corporations. He
Yeah,
went at
yeah.
Trump. He went at Kanye.
And he was
went
when you
he went at
when you
the
got
new age. What's going
that
on
money
now,
and that
Tekashi,
influence and
all-
stuff,
Everybody.
like when you got that money and influence
Like,
and
he's
stuff,
letting you know, like, he's-
it wasn't like he was like looking up at Trump, talking to him like, nah, bro, like we eye to eye, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like you know you talking with somebody who made it and still making it, you know, to y'all level, man, and I love that, man. You know, somebody be able to talk smack to the elites and they can't just be like, you know, that's just a fad, or yeah, you know, your money's gonna be gone tomorrow or something like that, you know, like he talking smack and it's sticking.
Yeah.
And as far as like other rappers trying to be competition, like I in the beginning of his verses, the
Well, he
one
took-
the
you
one part
don't-
I remember,
you-
he
you
said
don't-
3/5 the man, I believe is the phrase. And I'm like, wow, we was just talking about
That's
that.
Constitution.
And
But
towards the end, he just got grown man bars on him.
I feel like he took a shot of Tekashi because Tekashi for a while just was running around the King of New York,
Yeah.
and we all know, you know, at the moment, as it stands, Jay-Z is currently the King of New York.
You gotta call a spade,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
whether you like him or not. I mean,
Look,
hey, listen, I
just-
used to not like him. I used to
Just like
to
he
be
said.
I used to be just a fan. I didn't like his, you know, his wordplay back then. You know, his tracks. You know, some tracks. You know,
The reason it's undeniable now, when he say stuff like
Big
20,
Pimpin',
20
Big
25,
track-
yeah.
tracks like Big Pimpin' were like something I liked. You know,
Now,
like, you know
Big
what I'm saying?
Big Pimpin', he was talking that smack. Big Pimpin',
Yeah.
spinning cheese. But when you come on the track and you say 25% of Duce and Ace of Spades, 50% of Rock Nation, and 100% of Title, just to chop it up with my friends, those are some big endeavors. They
Those
some
are big numbers.
moves.
Those are big. Yeah.
Just the 25% in that Duce and Ace of Spade alone is like 500 million. Then you could add the half of the percentage that he has to Rock Nation because he owns his masters. So he get to pick and choose when he's going to do a show or do a tour. Then he dictates when he goes gold or platinum because he could always do it on like a download title.
And he's not even talking.
And you cut out the middleman. You actually cut out the middleman who determines whether you go. He started that on that Magna Carta. He started that.
And he's not even talking about the nightclubs he owns.
And he did that with I believe it was with Samsung at the time. And it was an exclusive download before it even hit stores. And he had already had like 1 million downloads before he had even hit the stores. So he was automatically certified platinum. And it's like you took platinum. Nobody told you when to drop your album. Or like they always push albums back. Okay, look, you're going to do your album. It's going to come out in the summertime. Then if something else happened, like, sorry, we got to shelf it. We got to push it back. And then on top of that, when you do release it, bootleggers and stuff get it from CDs and burning all this other stuff. That completely eliminates the little man. He started that.
We do have to remind everybody that Nas did kill him.
Man,
with
listen,
that Ether track.
That's why.
Like, that Ether track murdered him 100 times. I mean, yes, as successful as Jay-Z is, Jay-Z was able to come out of that coffin and become the mega, triple.
That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Like,
lyrically, he took
the L of a lifetime.
Yeah.
But he took the crown for the life.
I mean financially.
He took that.
But that happens. That happens. Remy Ma shattered Nicki Minaj, but Nicki Minaj beating sales. KRS-One shattered Nelly, but then Nelly won because he beating sales because everything is corporate. But true lyrics is, and people know, they know who really won those battles. Nas will forever be the winner of that battle because like whenever somebody say like you got beat or demolished, somebody beat you in a battle, they say you got ethered.
Yeah,
you got Ether. And Remy Ether.
No matter how many diss songs.
Pusha T, Ether, Drake, back to back them.
No matter how many, wannabe Ethers are dropped, Remy Ma did drop that Ether track. One of the girls.
She repped for the women. Like she did the Ether on a female version.
But she took that beat.
Yes.
And
then wasn't even allowed to use it because Nicki pressed charges on it for like. Beat sampling or something like that. She shut it down fast. She shouldn't
have been able to use it. Period. I mean, I feel that if you're gonna drop a diss track, you can't steal a legendary diss track's beat. That's just rules right there. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
I mean, like you could use their music, but not their diss track to diss a person.
No, you can't use a beat at all. You can't.
What? Hey, listen,
no,
Jay demolished Dipset on a Ballin' remix. He used a beat and demolished them.
That's a different story. That's a different story. When you take the beat, it was been done. Remember, Biggie and Pac.
Yeah.
They took the disc. That's a different story. You know what I'm saying? You can't take a beat that was used 15, 20 years ago.
Something that's already solidified and etched in stone. Yeah, like that beat should have been kept sacred.
Else.
But
the only time it should have been used
it.
is if Jay-Z used it against Nas.
Yeah, they'll never redo that again.
Big,
you know what they need to do, man? They need to just do a whole album together.
Who?
Get the fans what they want, Jay and Nas.
Nah. I like what Meek Mill's doing right now. With Rick Ross.
Yo, my new breed of rapper stop right there with Meek. The furthest I go is J. Cole, Kendrick, and Meek. I stop right there.
Well, I mean, everybody knows it's a trend. Whoever's got that hot track during that time, during that moment, it's gonna be who's gonna be live. Who's gonna be selling those albums?
I see him on the rise.
Who's gonna be downloaded?
I see him on the rise. I see
Meek on the rise.
The thing is,
Meek has been on the rise. Meek has been always
couple of
the same.
setbacks. Couple of setbacks.
Different 2 years out of the game. But Meek is definitely still Meek. I mean, Meek came out.
Him and T.I. have the best collabos between Meek and T.I.
Meek
their outros are awesome.
To me, Meek is still Meek. I mean, I like how he's on a on a righteous path. Like he's on this he's doing this for purpose. He's always done this for purpose, but
now
he's doing it now for
it's
purpose,
a more conscious awakening.
Well, I mean, he's it's easy for somebody in with celebrity status to go in and say, hey, I'm going to make a difference. But it's different when a guy who is actually a celebrity doing for his community,
Yeah, book
and
bag
then,
drives, all that.
and then he gets sabotaged and then thrown in jail because he is helping the community. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a conspiracy against him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's somebody like that.
And then the
doesn't
corrupt
deserve to-
judge, you know,
And
it's
now
like,
he's-
throw me on the album, then I'll think
And now
about
he's sitting
considering
with the
your case.
governors
Yeah.
trying to reform the jail system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is not your typical Meek Mill. You know, so big ups to him. You know, that's the king. That's one of the kings
Grown
out
up
here. You know what I'm
stuff.
saying?
Grown up stuff.
That's
man.
grown up stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you do. He and what I'm saying is because each generation, our generations when we were growing up, we had people to look up to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We had not only actors, but we had
Athletes.
We had the athletes.
Oh my gosh.
We had. We had people to look up to.
That era right there, man, like
the
your
90s,
Jordan era, man,
Jordan,
Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. You had Mike
not
Tyson
just-
dominating.
Well, not just we're talking about. We had people to look up to. You know what I'm saying? People,
Word.
people. There was people all over the place. Oh, I could be like him, or I could be like that. Like
That inspired you to
I
do
want to be
better.
like Mike. Inspired you because, Michael Jordan, truthfully, was turned down. He didn't make the high school basketball team, and then came back and said, hey, he proved that coach wrong, and he took it all the way to becoming one of the guys who has did it ever, the best ever, one of the best ever that did it. I mean,
Dropped
yeah,
like 60 points with the flu.
talk the shit about LeBron James being king now, but you know what? Michael Jordan will forever and be always, in my eyes, one of the kings.
Yeah,
I mean,
greatest,
I seen this dude
greatest, legend.
on two feet, barely shooting, threes to extend or take it on with the flu. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's legend. That's inspirational. We don't have that no more.
Slam dunk from
You
the
know what I'm
foul
saying?
line.
So the generations that we grew up watching, and the generations that grew up watching this and that, they don't. What do they? They have something to look up to, and let's just say the generations that don't have anything to look up to, what do they got to look up to? They're gonna look up to the person that didn't have nothing to look up to.
Mm-hmm.
So generations are gonna be falling apart. You know what I'm saying? The building blocks of society are gonna fall piece by piece because there's no infrastructure in certain neighborhoods or certain areas in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need people like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, Meek Mill's doing something. He's inspiring people from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Look up. Hey, you know what? He can be a rapper and still give back. You know what I'm saying? Colin Kaepernick. You look. He stood up for
goodness,
injustice.
Yeah, he just
You know
wrote
what I'm
his name
saying?
in the history books.
You
yeah.
know, like that's what I like to hear.
That's
That's
history.
what I
He just
want to
wrote
hear. I want to
history.
see my children reading about that 10, 15 years from now in the history books that these two, cemented themselves. Meek Mill, whether you call or not, he's been shitted. He was shitted on by the jail system. Like I said, I've been there. I've spoken on Facebook numerous times about how I was thrown into jail for something stupid that I never did. You know what I'm saying? You know how I say, oh, I never do shit.
That judge
course,
bang that gavel and say something like 5 years.
80% of the people are guilty and 20% are definitely innocent. And I can relate. I was part of the innocent people.
I don't
you
know.
what
It's
I'm
that 13% of the population are just the brown people, but over 50% of them are behind those walls.
saying?
Well, there is it's funny. I was just watching this documentary the other night on how actually our show, the show A's and Angels, is going to do something about the inner city and the conspiracy behind, why only the inner cities are ghetto, but there's actually a conspiracy behind.
Yeah. It's done deliberately.
Yeah,
It's
because
not.
they
Listen,
don't
this.
want- They don't want anybody of color or brown skin, descendants or to uprise. So if anybody like Meek Mills or Nas or somebody that tries to uplift the community, they do some type of corrupt thing to them because they want to keep you down.
Yeah.
You want to get out of their community, you can't.
It's called the agenda. They push. They got to push an agenda.
They push and force the agenda to silence or
Why you
to
think?
divide us as a community.
Dig this. Why you think conscious music is called underground?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like the main music with a message, with a purpose that
It's
can
underground.
help city to city, state to state is underground. Like some of the hottest songs won't even get radio play.
Remember that you talking about? But remember back in the early '90s, late '80s,
Yep.
Now that's why you only hear about like, oh, I'm gonna bang your chick.
They curtailed it
No,
with
you
gangster
hear- no,
rap,
you-
with
no, you
gangster rap
hear-
at the time. It's like wherever they put the
early
spotlight
two-
at
it's the
and
early
make
two-
it trending.
They started in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, in the early 2000s, the music industry started to change. You know, it went from, you know, it was because early 2000s was concerts. You know, it was all, you know, it was, this only started happening for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? The last 10 years, the music industry really, really changed.
Now the
You know,
agenda that they
now-
pushing is skinny jeans. It's all right to wear makeup. It's all right to
alright to
carry
wear
pocketbooks.
long
and-
hair.
Like there's a rapper that got an AK-47 and a wedding dress.
Right.
Yeah,
So you see?
and they push the agenda and like they make it, you know, okay. You know, like, but don't get it wrong. Like these dudes wearing skinny jeans and lipstick and mascara will kill you. Will kill you.
Well, I
Because
mean-
they got a backing, they got a following, and like they actually come from whatever hood that support and endorse that.
And Celine Dion, I don't know if you saw my post, but Celine Dion came out with a neutral gender clothing wear, and it's all I see an I in her and stuff like that. And I wrote in a post that I would never purchase anything that says Obey or this product, because there is a shirt or company called OBEY, Obey. I would never wear anything like that.
Chance the Rapper wears it a lot. He wears it a lot.
Because of what they're trying to do. It's almost like
That remind me of that movie They Live with Roddy Piper and the other guy, where a lot of the newspapers said Obey, the clothes said Obey. Like, listen, TV been predicting stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing with TV and music is art, and art imitate life. You know what I'm saying? Like these are
Yeah, but it's
these directors are like scientists and stuff, man. That it's
bring it-
like
bring
the
it-
stuff manifests later on. You like, dang,
bring
like that
that
movie
back.
was just like that.
But bring that thought back to where Meek Mill. We're talking about just Meek Mill. What's free? And he's
Word.
talking about in that line. Don't believe everything you watch on the TV.
right.
And I'm saying everything we watch on TV, or it could be considered social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, TV these days may not always be considered TV. It's called the internet. Could be another source of television. And that's what he's saying. Don't believe everything that's out
Yeah,
there.
like free is when they can't tell you what to be. Free is when they can't tell you how to think. You know, free, is what can't control you no more on TV. Like those are actual bars that he's spitting in there, man. And you got to think his
That's why.
predecessors.
That's why
Like-
the reasoning behind the Freestyle Freaks is
Jay come in.
that we are
Jay come
we're
in.
free-minded people.
Jay say hair free, carefree, man. Y'all ain't near free. You know what I'm saying? Because Jay been what was that track? I got the keys. He started off in that verse. He said, "He's always asking me the key. Till you get your own, you can't be free. Till you get your own, you can't be me. How we still slaves in 2016? Key to life, keep the bag coming. Every night another bag coming. I ain't been to sleep since '96. I ain't seen the back of my eyelids." You know what I'm saying? Like something need to wake up in the brain and keep them awake. You know, it's like once you got that platform, that harness, and you awake, your job is to touch every person to get them eyes open, and you're juggling like trying
Yeah,
to.
but we have a lot of artists that are, like woke. Remember Jedi Mind Tricks, Immortal Technique. People like
Underground,
that.
man.
Underground.
And it's a shame because they not going to get the number ones on the radio, but it's number one to us.
Yeah,
it's number
I mean,
one to
but-
us. It's a
but-
theme song in our life because it speaks to
but
our
there's-
soul.
There's woken people out there. It's just not. It has to come from, celebrities like Meek Mill. It's got to come.
Kendrick Lamar,
Kendrick
J.
Lamar, you know what I'm
Cole's,
saying?
them,
Yeah.
collectively.
Or Jay Z. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
collectively.
Like Jay-Z.
Been people for a long time.
Jay-Z's a different rapper now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z's a grown
Look at
rapper.
the pictures. Look at the pictures of Jay when he was first coming out. He got the 4-finger rings with gold
Hawaiian
teeth and
shirts.
gold chains and stuff.
Those Hawaiian shirts.
That's
that Nas
only
be talking about.
his net worth is only $100,000 in that picture. Then is another picture side by side where it's just a regular blue shirt on, little thin chain, worth $1.8 billion. And it's like do the math on that. Like coming out, you impressing. You got all the chains, you got the rings, you got the cars. That $1 billion talk, you dress like Bill Gates in them now. You dress like Steve Jobs in them now. You can't look at these dudes and tell that they billionaires. They regular. And they don't even flat have money. All of that putting your money up to your ear and you like this, that, and the third. Listen, grown men, they start carrying plastic. They don't even touch money. You know what I'm saying? Let alone drugs and like this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Like listen, I don't knock nobody for what they do because there's a lot of guys out there that have no choice but to hustle because you got a system that's not designed for you. You get processed inside this system, then they tell you that this is the thing that killed me. If you got a record, you can't get a job. But once you go to jail, they got a felons for hire program. Explain that. Explain that to me. That's like saying, okay, you're gonna pay for the food at McDonald's, but the food at Burger King is free. It's crazy. All right, the same way the crazy thing is that you go to Burger King right now, get 10 nuggets for $1. 10 chicken nuggets for $1, but ask them how much a salad costs.
$5.
And you can grow salad. You can grow lettuce. You can grow tomatoes.
I'm not growing no lettuce. You heard about the lettuce that's been growing out here?
Romaine.
I don't growing that shit.
And that's only contained to Southern California or Northern California.
You can go to McDonald's and get any size drink for $1. You can go to Wendy's, get any size fries for $1. And you can go to Burger King and get 10 nuggets for $1.
10 nuggets for $1, but a salad, which is healthy.
$7, right?
And as much as they try to say they want to cut back on obesity and they're working with trans fat and all this other stuff, you would think that the salads would be like $1 or $2.
No.
The salads are like $5, $6, $7.
Yep.
And inside doesn't cost that much.
Crazy. Madness. It's insanity.
And actually, they're saying because of the, I'm not trying to put too much politics in, but they're saying because of Trump, they can't get rid of a lot.
But I still need that question answered. Is if I get a record for like the smallest charge, I can't get a job because I have a record. But if I'm a felon and I do about 4, 5, 6, 10 years in prison, there's a work program for me when I get out.
Well, we all know the system is
Crazy.
Not
Crazy.
built for the average.
It's crazy.
It's not built. It's not built. And it's supposed to be rehabilitation, but it's how do I put it? It's I guess it's I don't know. It's I don't know how to find the correct wording for it, but it's regression. You know what I'm saying? It regresses you because it gets you stuck into a system that you can't get out.
Actually,
You can't get a job. Huh?
I did a documentary on that. And I put it into the film festival about 4 years ago. Me and Mike Smith, this big dude, and I think he did like 10 years because for kidnapping. I think he caught a attempted murder charge.
I mean, listen.
And I did a documentary on it.
Yeah, but something like that. I'm sorry. I know you did a documentary, but something like that. I don't trust your ass.
Hey, nah,
You know
listen,
what I'm saying?
listen,
I'm being real.
listen. This is
But if
this
you
is real rap.
done something stupid like
Listen, this-
smoke weed or
this is
you
real
high-
rap. This is
sold
real
weed,
rap. I know
you got
people-
caught with a blunt.
I know
You
people.
shouldn't do 10 years.
I know
for that.
people
I mean,
that
come
did
on.
double-digit numbers, and I have no problem saying names because these are my brothers. But I got a good brother named Sha Rule Bowser. He did 10 years in prison. This man came out, became a business owner. You know what I'm saying? Like the power of the mind. Like they could lock your body, but they can't lock your mind. Like you said, right? It's to reform you. Jail don't reform shit. I'm telling you that it's up to the person. It's definitely up to the person. They could lock your body, man, but they can't lock your mind and your soul. And I got another friend of mine, Eric, my man Eric. He did about 10 years in prison. But while he was in there, he learned all the tricks of the trade. He ordered all mechanic books. And next thing you know, started his own mechanic shop. 2 of them, actually. Yeah. And it's like that type of entrepreneurship, huh?
Yeah, but you have to have people like that.
But once you start making noise, like once your business is doing all right and doing okay, all of a sudden, the same people that turned you around, these banks and these credit unions and stuff, now you made some noise. You're generating a substantial amount of money in the community. Okay, you said you needed a loan for what property? Yeah, sure, we got that. And that's how it worked. This man did 10 years in prison, came out selling clothes. Came out selling clothes, went from doing it in his car to a table, went from a table to having a whole strip on the block. Then that's when, the cops come in. They like, look, you're going to have to give us a hand and something. They try to shut you down. But after generating that much money, now the banks and them are paying attention to you because you're depositing all of this money and they're like, wait, and it's legal, so yeah, get this man a loan. Give him a loan for a location because we're about to capitalize off that too. Boom. Now you have a location. Now you have a thriving business all the way to the point where you go, you know what? I've outgrown this city. Right. Let me go move somewhere else. So shout out to my man, Sharul, for that very true, successful story right there. Awesome. Sharul Bowser. Look him up on Facebook. Actual true story.
Shout out to those who continue to move forward and not give up in any kind of situation they're put in.
Yeah, man.
That just keep, that just,
the hustle
tells
gotta be in you.
Keep on grinding. Keep on grinding.
It gotta be.
Don't give up. Don't give up anything.
And I don't knock nobody for what they do, but if it's one form of advice that I could give to some like the drug dealers out there, I'm talking on the street level now. If it's one bit of advice that I could give to y'all, man, I know that money, it come fast and it feel good, but y'all know as well as I know, it don't last. You get $10,000 a day. What good is that when you do 10 years in the Bing and you weigh it all up? It's like you just made less than minimum wage. Some of them really got to go out and go get regular jobs. But if you got that right now and you got a hustler mentality and a business spirit, I dare you. I challenge you right now to make that legal. Start a barbershop. Like, look, you in the same community. You hustling in front of an abandoned building. I dare you to get that money, buy that building, make a barbershop, and be the owner of it. Be the owner of it.
And I agree with you 1,000%. So instead of saying, I'm not trying to put down my other part of my people, the Latino community, but don't complain when the Indian and Latinos come in and they buy that abandoned shop and they open up a bodega.
Yeah, like a little restaurant or something. And it's the same one that not only are you going to hustle in front of, but you're going to go get the products because you need them out of there. Yeah. You're going to go there, go get your cigarettes. You're going to go there, go get your juices.
Buy the building. Since you got, all that drink money, whatever, buy the building, fix it up, and sell your own products. Or just open a barbershop.
It's so many different hustles. Like, you can't limit yourself to one hustle. And that's how a lot of these rappers did because they... So tell me that these rappers didn't start like that. Tell me that Meek wasn't doing hand-to-hand crack or dope sales. Jay and them wasn't doing hand-to-hand sales. And look at them now.
We'll leave this at that because it's almost it's time for us to get out of here.
He talking about we needed topics.
Quick shout-outs. Was that beautiful?
That was beautiful.
Was that you see that?
Improvise, freestyle.
Come on, brother. Come on. Come on, you think we just started doing this?
Very well orchestrated.
We're almost our 5th year. We've been doing this.
Veterans in the game.
We're veterans.
Man, listen, man. Shout outs though, man. Shout out to everybody that had tuned in, man.
Yeah, shout out to all
my
the
mom,
viewers,
to Linda,
listeners,
to Rachel. Man, every last one of y'all. Richie, he was the first person to say no audio, so we made Ruben turn it up. He used some of that speaker wire in his hair, and he got us back rolling again. And shout out to Hamilton Radio, man. Shout out to my awesome host here, man.
Thank you, bro.
Ralphie Rotten, man.
Shout out to you, brother.
And the awesome person on the. Wow, I'm actually giving him a shout out. Look, even his face turned. Look, man, working on the boards over there, man. Ruben, definitely make sure he's the engine. He's the engine of all of this,
He's
man.
the engine. He's the engine. We're just the drivers of this vehicle.
Yeah, hey, listen, Ralph steered the ship. Ruben is the engine. I just hit the gas every now and then. Ain't no brakes. I just hit the gas every now and then. Run a couple of red lights, some stop signs.
Yeah, shout outs to everybody who's all the tuners tuning in from all over the world, locally, social media wise. I know y'all could be watching the Eagles play now.
The Redskins.
Yup. I could be watching the game, but we're here. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Watch the recap though.
Shout out to Billy. Shout out to Ruben. Shout out to Hamilton Radio for always giving us this wonderful platform just to vent and just air shit out like this. I feel that, we do this for you guys, because you guys probably would. Damn, you know what? I wish I could. I want to say the same thing he just said, so we do it for you guys. You guys don't have to answer the questions, but we give you guys advice. We give you guys the news locally. We give you guys, just a little glimpse, whoever listen all over the world, a glimpse into our small town in this area locally, and all the bright talent that's up and coming that comes through here. We definitely are blessed always thank you. Definitely, if you're interested in going this Sunday, I will add come out and see the Life Has Changed 3 at the Open Art Stage in Bordentown, New Jersey. Show starts at 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m.
What's the address on that again?
It's Friday. It's Open Arts. It's the Open Arts Stage in Bordentown, New Jersey.
In the same parking lot as Mastori's and Jimmy's. It's, just behind. Well, you got Jimmy's, you got Mastori's, then you got Open Arts Package right behind Mastori's.
Checked out the show. It's gonna be an amazing show. Get those tickets. You can go on my Facebook, and you can click on the event. And it's Friday, December 7th, 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday, 8:30 to 10. Sunday, 5 to 6:30. Check it out. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to my daughter. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my little son. I love you guys. Shout out to everybody that's part of my life. And we're out. Peace. We're the Freestyle Freaks on Monday nights. I'm Ralphie Rotten. This is Billy the Kid. And we're out.
Yeah.
Peace.